Have you ever wondered how an idea, a belief, can travel thousands of miles across deserts and mountains without a single tweet or text message? The Silk Road wasn't just a highway for silk and spices. It was a superhighway for the human spirit. It was the road that carried gods between worlds. Imagine this. It's the 1st century CE. Dawn breaks over an Indian monastery. The air hums with Sanskrit chants. A young monk carefully loads a cart with sacred scrolls and statues. His mission? To carry the wisdom of the Buddha to a land far to the east. He whispers to himself, "The truth must travel, even if the road is long." He joins a sprawling caravan, a moving city of merchants and pilgrims, their destination, China. This single journey would change the spiritual landscape of a continent forever. Months, maybe even years later, in a Chinese temple, the air is thick with the scent of incense. A crowd gathers, their faces lit by flickering lamps. A veil is pulled back, revealing a magnificent golden statue of the Buddha. A wave of awe washes over the people. This wasn't just the arrival of a new religion. It was the start of a profound conversation. Buddhism began to mingle with the ancient philosophies of Taoism and Confucianism. It was like pouring a new color into a painting, creating shades and hues never seen before. New schools of thought emerged, new styles of art blossomed, and temple architecture evolved, blending Indian stupas with Chinese pagodas. The road had delivered not just a statue, but a new way of seeing the world. But the Buddha wasn't the only deity traveling these dusty paths. The Silk Road became a grand stage for a divine parade. Picture a montage unfolding across centuries and continents. Muslim merchants and scholars, carrying the teachings of the Quran, journeyed eastward, their faith taking root in the heart of Central Asia. From the west, Armenian traders brought the story of Christ, establishing Christian communities along the route. In the quiet of the desert, Zoroastrian fire temples flickered, their eternal flames a testament to one of the world's oldest religions. And in the bustling oasis towns, Jewish communities settled, building synagogues that stood for centuries as beacons of their heritage. This incredible exchange wasn't just about theology. As languages mixed in the marketplaces, new words and phrases were born. As recipes were shared around campfires, culinary traditions fused, creating dishes that were a delicious blend of East and West. The music of an Indian sitar could be heard mingling with the strings of a Persian oud, creating melodies that danced across cultural borders. The Silk Road was a symphony of humanity, where every note, every flavor, every prayer added to its richness. It proved that people didn't have to choose one god or one culture. They could embrace many. Now, let's fast forward to the 13th century. The world's largest land empire, the Mongol Empire, has brought an unprecedented era of peace and stability known as the Pax Mongolica, the Mongol Peace. At the heart of this empire, in a lavish palace, sits the mighty Kublai Khan. Before him kneel ambassadors from Persia, India, and even distant Europe. The air is filled with a sense of power and possibility. With a voice that commands respect, Kublai Khan declares, "Let the road be open, let the gods walk freely." Under his rule, the Silk Road flourished like never before. The routes were protected from bandits, and a sophisticated postal system, the Yam, allowed messages and ideas to travel with astonishing speed. It was an age of unparalleled openness. In the Khan's court, you could find Nestorian Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, and Taoists, all advising the emperor. He understood that diversity was a source of strength, that a free flow of ideas was as valuable as a free flow of goods. This was the golden age of the Silk Road, a time when the world felt interconnected, a time when the road truly belonged to everyone. It was into this world that a young man from Venice stepped. His name was Marco Polo. As he boarded a ship at the bustling Venetian docks, the setting sun painting the sky in fiery colors, he had no idea his journey would become one of the most famous in history. He sailed east, his heart filled with a thirst for adventure. After a long and arduous journey, he reached China and entered the service of Kublai Khan himself. For years, Marco Polo lived and worked in the Khan's court, his European eyes widening at the wonders he witnessed. He saw things that were almost unimaginable back home. He saw paper money used as common currency, a concept that wouldn't catch on in Europe for centuries. He saw the efficiency of the Khan's vast postal system, a network that connected the empire. He marveled at magnificent palaces built from porcelain and walked through cities that dwarfed anything in Europe. Most remarkably, he witnessed a level of religious tolerance that was simply unheard of in his own world. When he finally returned to Venice, he was a man transformed. He brought back not just jewels and silks, but stories, tales of a civilization so advanced, so vast, so different, that they ignited Europe's imagination. His accounts, written down while he was a prisoner of war, became a sensation. In the quiet libraries of Europe, scholars hunched over copies of The Travels of Marco Polo. They redrew their maps, which had previously ended in a vague, mythical East. A profound sense of curiosity was awakened. A scholar, looking up from the book, might have whispered, "There is a world beyond our world, and it is divine." Marco Polo's journey wasn't just an adventure, it was a catalyst. It planted a seed of curiosity that would eventually blossom into the age of discovery. It reminded a continent that its worldview was incomplete. The tales from the Silk Road fanned the flames of exploration, pushing future adventurers to seek new routes to the riches and the wonders of the East. So, as we look back, we see the Silk Road was never just about commerce. It was a spiritual artery, pumping beliefs, philosophies, and divine stories across the body of the known world. We see pilgrims walking side by side with merchants, their quests equally important. We see temples and churches and mosques rising next to markets, the sacred and the secular sharing the same space. Beliefs didn't just travel, they met, they argued, they blended, and they evolved. The Silk Road teaches us a timeless lesson. When paths are open, when people are willing to listen and share, humanity's collective spirit doesn't just grow, it soars. The road was a testament to the idea that our differences don't have to divide us. They can, in fact, be the very threads that weave us together into a richer, more vibrant, and more beautiful tapestry. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this exploration of the Silk Road, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay curious.